Today, Random Railways is visiting Rail Live, the main railway industry exhibition in the UK. It's held at Marston Rail Innovation Centre in Warwickshire. As well as being a centre for rail innovation, it also has around 12 miles of storage sidings where rolling stock, both new and old, can be stored whilst awaiting commissioning or disposal. The two-day show attracts over 5,000 people from the railway industry worldwide who come to see the wide range of innovative products on display, as well as the extensive range of plant and machinery. We're going to take a quick look at a few interesting innovations we found on display, starting at a platform, which at first glance appears to be fairly standard. However, this one has a base constructed from blocks that are manufactured from recycled tyres. They are shredded and bonded into blocks which can be laid quickly and cheaply with no mortar required. This allows a much quicker build time and is consequently much cheaper, with less disruption, and uses an otherwise difficult waste product to dispose of.
Yeah, hi, I'm Noel from Firm Freight. This is the movable conductor bar for electric freight. Really simply, if you've got an electric freight train, how do you get it into a siding? If you have a traditional overhead line, how do you load and unload a freight train? So this was for an Innovate UK project in Wellingborough, where you have your electric freight train come in, this bar is out, it lowers the pan, this then folds away, and you can then simply load, unload your freight train, and then do the whole thing in reverse. And what it allows is end-to-end freight journeys that are electric and fully decarbonised. Electric freight is a great way to move freight trains around the country. Electric freight's quicker, more reliable than diesel trains, so it's an all-round winner. We've already had this installed in a couple of depots in the UK, so passenger train depots. This is the first project for a freight project, so hoping to roll out electric freight over the next few years.
I'm Andrew Goodman, and I'm the Managing Director of Railway Support Services. So today we're sat in the cab of a TP70 locomotive which we've imported from Canada. The loco was built in 2015 and was the prototype for a new design of shunting locomotive for use in industrial locations across North America, really, both in Canada and America. We got involved with the manufacturer about 3 years ago. We operate a fleet of nearly 62 former British Railways Class 08 locomotives, which are getting a little bit long in the tooth these days, and it's becoming a bit of a job to maintain them and to overhaul them. So we were looking around for a replacement, and we came across this company in Canada and these particular locomotives. So after 3 years, we've redesigned the loco to fit a UK loading gauge and to be compatible with UK requirements. The loco we're on today, though, is really to illustrate that concept of what's available. This loco is actually built to American loading gauge, so it is quite a bit higher and a little bit wider than what we would normally expect to find in the UK and Europe. But the hope is that given a little bit of time, we should be able to convince UK operators to take this locomotive on, or this concept of locomotive, and replace the 08 fleets that are running around at the moment. It's a very low emission locomotive. This locomotive, although it was built in 2015, the engine that's in it in America it's regarded as a tier 3 engine, power unit. It's got a Caterpillar C14 engine in it, but it produces emissions which are lower than those standards permitted in California. The locomotives that we'd be looking to build and to bring into the UK now, they will have Euro 6 engines in. It's an updated Caterpillar engine. The power unit is very, very fuel efficient, whereas an 08 will burn about 137 litres of fuel per hour when idling. This burns about 2.3 litres, so that's a huge saving. And under load, an 08, we usually work on 437 litres an hour. This will burn 32 litres, so that is a massive, massive saving in cost. We actually reckon that on a 10-hour working day with perhaps say 4 hours idling, this locomotive will save about £3,000 per day in fuel costs alone, besides giving a much better working environment for the crew.
Technicrete is a replacement for cement-based foundations. Everywhere we are installing a palisade fence, a handrail, an elevated troughing system. Anywhere a cement-based foundation goes into the ground, we can replace that with Technicrete. Compared to the traditional cement-based Postmix, Technicrete offers a carbon saving of around 75%. It's made from recycled vegetable oil from the catering sector and sustainably sourced rapeseed oil. That makes up 85% of the pack volume. There are two bags, there is part A and part B. We tear the tops off both bags. The bags sit on the ground all by themselves, so it's a one-person application. We tip part A into part B. You will seal the top of that bag back over and give it a vigorous shake for between 10 to 15 seconds. At that point, it's completely mixed together. We open the bag and we tip it directly into the foundation where your post is waiting for the installation. We'll have a chemical reaction. That chemical reaction will make the product expand, much like an expanding foam, but it's a high density polyurethane, so it's a structural foam. So that is why it creates the strength to support the foundation as you would get from the heavy Postmix. The product takes around 10 to 15 minutes to fully expand, and within 1 hour it will be set as firm as a Postmix would be after around 24 hours. So the efficiency driver there is that the post, the signpost, anything that is going on to that foundation can be attached there and then while the workers are on site. We don't have to come back and revisit it at any time.
Also on display is the Porterbrook Class 321 Swift Express Freight EMU. This has been converted from a redundant Greater Anglia unit. A battery power option is in development and talks are underway with various freight and parcel companies to supply these for express deliveries to rail-linked warehousing and to city centres. And finally, a quick look at the Revolution VLR, which stands for Very Light Rail. With a lightweight composite body shell and modular hybrid power packs which include a Euro 6 spec engine and battery powered traction, this is a unique project that is currently being trialled in the West Midlands. It operates on battery at up to 20 miles an hour and is just over half the weight of a Class 153 DMU, but has the same capacity of 56 passengers, but has a much better fuel economy. It uses automotive industry components where possible, many of which are sourced in the UK. This helps keep weight and costs down and is expected they can be in production within the next 2 years, with an express parcels variant also in the pipeline. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Random Railways.